This is Energy Frontiers, proudly brought to you with support from the African Energy Chamber. I am Justina Okechukwu. As always, let's get started with top energy news from across Africa and around the world. Global oil demand is set to expand faster than expected this year to reach 102 million barrels per day, with China's demand recovery beating market expectations. According to the International Energy Agency's monthly oil market report, global oil inventories could come under pressure again as world oil supply is set to fall further this month as new OPEC Plus production cuts take effect. Petrofac Limited this week announced that its joint venture has been selected for a $1.5 billion petrochemical engineering, procurement and construction by a fully owned subsidiary of Algerian oil and gas company Sonatrach. The award broadens Petrofac's 25-year record in Algeria's energy industry. The Angolan oil and gas regulator ANPG has granted Afentra plc an approval to extend the production sharing agreement of its Block 305 license to December 2040. The approval of the license extension indicates a major milestone towards completion of the Sonangol transaction, which is expected to be completed by the end of June this year. ExxonMobil says the energy giant is taking action to reduce emissions and deliver on its strategic objectives from recognized principles that support a just transition. The oil giant says that a sustained emissions reduction requires a thoughtful and comprehensive approach, as collaborations are needed to move society towards a net zero future. The South African government says it plans to auction at least 10 new onshore blocks for shale gas exploration in the country's Karoo region. The Petroleum Agency of South Africa estimates the Karoo Basin holds around 209 trillion cubic feet of technically recoverable shale gas resources. And that was a snapshot of your energy news headlines. When we return, how can South Africa bridge the gap between energy security and climate resilience amid its energy crisis? We have some answers in just a moment. This is Energy Frontiers. South Africa's Mineral Resources and Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe said the country will go ahead with the development of its oil and gas resources despite challenges with environmental activists at the law courts. The minister was speaking alongside other leaders in the energy industry at the Elite Africa Conference, which took place in Cape Town in the course of the week.
Now, this year, we have a commitment here that is standing that we want to connect 917,000 households to the grid over the medium-term strategic framework. That is the budget period. Up to today, we've connected 673,946 households. That is additional. That is our movement towards universal access to electricity. And we intend to connect the remainder of 243,054 households. If we do that, we're a step close to universal access to electricity. We've amended the Electricity Regulation Act, and the reason that we've amended it, I'm talking to you as entrepreneurs, I think you'll know this better than I do, is that we're establishing a transmission system that is standalone. I normally call it the Dutch model, where transmission is a market and a wheeler of energy. It's not trapped into the big entity of Eskom that is having problems in generation and in distribution, but transmission must be a standalone entity that is a market and a wheeler of energy. We stopped this regulation in 2013, and the reason that we stopped it, we said there was no market. You can't have a market when there's no market, there's monopoly, there's Eskom only generating electricity, and you're creating a market. Now, because IPPs, renewable energy, there is now a new market that is emerging. It is time to create that market and the wheel are called transmission. But the reality of the matter is that IRP 2019 talks to something that everybody talks to called just energy transition, talks to that issue in detail. And the distinction between IRP and general speak is that general speak says it's movement from coal to renewables. And we always correct them because we use the IRP, we say it's movement from high carbon emission to low carbon emission. It's a big distinction. It's not coal to renewables. It's high carbon emission to low carbon emission. And when we say that, we understand that that transition is a journey. It's not an event. And therefore, we'll take time to move from high carbon emission to low carbon emission. And we are also giving it a character that it will be a combination of technologies that will help us transition from high carbon emission to low carbon emission. We're battling with exploration of gas and oil. We stay in court is one process that we're prepared to engage. We're going to endure. People can take us to court as many times as they can. We will continue with gas and petroleum exploration because we have a lot of potential. Our shale gas in the Karoo has been tested, experimented, and it has been proven to be economical. So we're going to remove the moratorium on shale gas. If you want to explore shale gas, come to the fore. Go with us, be prepared to have the patience of enduring court challenges, all of that, but we're going to open it. The exploration of gas everywhere is challenged, but we'll continue with it. Oil, we're going to have it because we chased away Shell in the Wild Coast, chased them away, that we are making ourselves dirty. They moved to Namibia. They work with Total and many others. They have made 3 discoveries. They're working on the 4th discovery of oil in Namibia now. They're drilling 10 wells of oil. Here, we're clean, we won't touch it, and so forth. And that oil is just north of the Orange River mouth, and that means that oil stretches to South African waters. And we must drill that oil, we must get it. If we must be taken to court, let's go to court, but we need that oil. Oil and gas is going to be a game changer for our economy.
There's no hiding from South Africa's power woes. Millions of people go without power for hours every day, often putting lives and livelihoods at great risk. Now, in a recent report by Nedbank and the Township Entrepreneurs Alliance, 66% of the surveyed business owners said that they have cut jobs because of load shedding. And we know this well, but it bears saying South Africa can ill afford this job shedding. Now, with a national power supply that is still dominated by coal, it is clear that an urgent shift in policy is necessary. But the important and hopeful part of this is that it's also doable. Now, in a recent report, the International Renewable Energy Agency and also the Africa Development Bank noted that Africa could unlock 3.5% more economy-wide jobs and realize 6.4% higher GDP if it shifted towards energy renewable solutions. The report further estimated that the continent's solar photovoltaic technical potential shines at 7,900 gigawatts, suggesting that the continent possesses some of the globe's greatest potential for solar power generation. And so when factoring in the added potential of 1,753 gigawatts of hydropower, 461 gigawatts in wind energy, and that clean energy solutions are statistically far less costly, it becomes very clear that a serious investment in renewable energy will power up jobs and our economy.
If you look at Africa's potential in terms of solar energy, in terms of hydro energy, we have about 350 gigawatts potential of hydropower. And so therefore, if Africa, we attract the right investment, if Africa, we work together towards ensuring that we develop the 350 gigawatts of hydropower, and we actionalize what we call the Africa market, Africa energy market through modernization and creation of the African power pools, namely the West African power pool, the North African power pool, the East African power pool of about 11 countries, and the 12 African countries that make up the South African power pool. If we develop the regional interconnectors of those regional power pools, then we should be able to capitalize on each other's potential.
If the grid is not prepared, renewable energy integration can bring to collapsing the network. So first, to prepare the network, to take a good programming of the renewable energy, how to integrate to the network, and how we are reaching the population. Because in many countries, we don't have a very concentrated people. So African Union came out of using all available sources where it is at the best cost. So when you are having in concentrate big city, your network with all, kind of sources, you should plan how you reach the isolated population to give electricity to those people. So the Power Authority are now thinking on developing a national network, but in the context of the regional power pool, and in the same time, integration between power pool.
There are two sides to IT in energy. The first, of course, is the energy that is required to power the IT systems, the IT and communication systems. And then, of course, the other side is IT in the energy systems. I'll focus more on IT in energy systems, where IT then comes into play a very critical role in ensuring that we're able to deliver cost-effective, reliable power for our different localities. Now, some of the key things in there, of course, is harnessing the different technologies that are out in the market to date to ensure that we can be able to do our tariffing accurately. Past speakers have spoken of energy trading, but to be able to effectively do this energy trading, you need to harness again the modernizations in the information and communication technology spaces. If you're talking about grid planning, if you're talking about cybersecurity, which is also very key because most of the utilities we run are considered critical national infrastructure in most of our countries. So how do you ensure that you protect them against cyber attacks? So it's really a point in time where I think advancements in technology are playing a very significant role, not only in ensuring energy security, affordability and availability, but also its reliability through the different information and communication technologies that are coming in to support this space.
Imagine a future where tomorrow's solutions build a world of opportunities for all, and where human potential is truly realized, where every child has an equal chance in life, no matter where they were born. Imagine the potential of a continent built on low-carbon oil and natural gas and abundant renewable energy. Imagine Mozambique, Angola, Nigeria, Uganda, Senegal, Egypt, Namibia, and Algeria being let free to develop their natural resources without pressure from wealthy countries to leave it in the ground. Imagine an Africa where we cut red tape bureaucracy and provide better fiscal terms so we can compete globally for energy investments. African Energy Week is the African Energy Chamber's annual event held at the Cape Town waterfront, uniting African energy leaders, global investors, and executives from across the public and private sector for 4 days of intense dialogue on the future of the African energy industry. Showcasing the latest technologies and innovations to 5,000 plus registered delegates from over 100 countries and international professionals from across the global energy sector. Be part of the future of the energy industry and join the energy movement by becoming an official sponsor, exhibitor, delegate, or partner. African Energy Week.
Welcome back to the program. Nigeria's largest telco by market size and capitalization, MTN, says it focused on building its environment, social and governance footprint and committed to delivering net zero target by 2040, having achieved a 25% reduction in emissions in 2022. This disclosure was made by Toriola, the Chief Executive Officer of MTN Nigeria, while speaking in a fireside chat at the Investing in Development conference hosted recently by Chapel Hill Denham in partnership with USAID, Prosper Africa and Power Africa. Listen here.
Look, ESG is a core part of Ambition 2025, and we put it under the pillar of shared value. In terms of the environment, we've committed to net zero emissions by 2040. And we actually achieved a 25% reductions in our emissions last year. And that's not just MTN, but MTN and its entire supply chain. So we're working with telco partners, etc. We've installed gas-fired IPP solutions. We have sensors on our lights. We have sensors. We look at water consumption as well. So sensors on water, on our taps, etc. So ESG is a huge focus. We're just in the process of appointing and announcing a general manager to focus on sustainability.
Finally, the clock is ticking towards June the 1st, the date set for the Invest in African Energy Forum organized by the African Energy Chamber in France. The window is still open for you to join energy industry leaders, top executives of global energy companies, deep pocket investors, project builders, and others from across Europe and Africa at the Western Paris Vendome in Paris. The one-day event will feature deal signings as well as investment discussions and issues affecting Africa's energy sector. Sign up today at www.energychamber.org. And that's the package for the show this week, and we thank you for watching. Remember to follow the program on Frontier Africa Reports website, subscribe to our YouTube, and follow us across all our social media handles as indicated on the screen. It's goodbye from me, Justina Okechukwu. I'll see you soon.